Okay, I had to come back because I just realized that the recording got corrupted. Oh, alright, so basically what happened is I talked for about 1 minute straight and my audio did not seem to record that. Anyways, yeah, enjoy. Finally. Yeah, time. Let's go. Alright, so basically what happened here is my audio got corrupted, so yeah, nothing really too interesting happened, so here you go, here's the footage at 100 times speed. So for you to enjoy. Nothing too interesting happened. I should probably mention that. Hold up, wait. I should probably mention that this is for the MintyGdps Building Competition 3. Oh my god. Okay. This is so unprepared. I'm so unprepared for this. But basically, what happened is, I hit the record button thinking that my mic was gonna work just right off the bat, and guess what? It didn't. So basically, you didn't miss out on too much. You just missed out on 40 minutes of me just building the compounds of the level that I made for the competition. Of course, I didn't win, but I, in my opinion, I did pretty well. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry. I should probably continue the footage. I'm not gonna talk. As you can see, I'm just, slowly building up. Also, the theme of the competition is quick limits. So basically, what this means is, if we skip over to where we start building, is there a frame in this? Yeah, there we go. This right down here is how many clicks you're allowed to have in your level. If you go over, you die. Which is a very good gimmick in my opinion. And I wanted to see more, and I want to see it used more in other levels. Anyways, yeah, that's enough for footage number 1. Time to go to unedited footage number 2. Yes, I'm so happy, dude. Alright, welcome to unedited footage number 2. Again, nothing too interesting happened here. My recording had just stopped. That is me charging up my phone. Nothing too. You didn't miss out on anything too interesting. And in fact, I might actually just leave this part unedited and just talk over. Now, again, you can see the gameplay is nothing too interesting. Just I added this swing part that's 2 clicks, which in my opinion is a little bit good, but also a little bit simple, in my opinion. And it's mainly just nothing to be too worried about. And yeah, apparently I went into the recorder right there. So we're moving on to number 3. I gotta really start going through these. Right, welcome to unedited footage number 4. Okay, so this is when we first see my first progress on the decoration of the level. Also, if you're wondering, the time limit to make these levels that we made are about, yeah, basically the time limit is 4 hours, yeah, which, you can spread it out evenly. Like, you have 2 hours to build the gameplay, you have 2 hours to decorate. However, me being stupid and being way too much of a playtester, I decided to playtest most of the time. Of course, you didn't miss out on anything too interesting. Like, for example, this block design right here, this little block design I made, is basically the first block design of the whole first part. You can see here, then you can see over here just me making the final clicks of the level, since it got very bored at the end and I just wanted to end. Basically, what I did here is I made it so that the level fit with the race standards of this GDPS I'm in, which a GDPS is a jump dash private server. And, well, the jump dash private server I like to be in is, of course, called MintyGdps. Anyways, Nothing too interesting happens, of course. You can see me just building the gameplay. Nothing too interesting, and I just end it right there. As you can see, very creative from me. Also, it does say LO right there, right here. It says LO. If you're wondering, if we skip forward a little bit, we can see that I start implementing slopes into these structures. I start implementing this spike design I made, and just overall, I just started implementing a lot more. For example, right here, I added some background poses, which look kind of like this. If we get it, if you can show us, bro. Hello, are we gonna see the background pose? Dude, you moving so slow. Why are we moving so slow here? There we go. And then I said that color was a little bit too bright, so I made it darker. I think. Do I make it darker? Oh yeah, I do. I do make it a lot darker. Yeah, there we go. I also use this pulse right here for to see for inspiration to see if it's close to the color, and it wasn't close at all. And I just really wanted to have a different color. Also, no, I won't be putting this won't be putting the original audio at all into this video. I'm gonna be voice overing a lot of this. But you can see right here, just I made a little bit of a loop here with the background pulses, which are 8 blocks apart, which perfectly fit with the beat of the song that I chose to make the level with, which in my opinion is great. And I'm just overall pretty proud with what I've done with this level. Even though that I'm not proud with the footage I got, I'm proud with the level. Now, if we skip forward a little bit into this recording, we can see that, we end up making the end of the end of the level being you going to a saw blade, and then we go on to the next unedited footage. We are so gaming. Alright, so welcome back to the next unedited footage. Now, this right here is a block design that I ended up overusing a lot. And like, a lot. Basically what I've done here is I've made these blocks pulse in sequence. Of course, I tried making a spawn loop out of it, but it didn't really work out too well. I mean, kind of interesting though that I still ended up going with the gimmick. You can see me here just moving around the triggers a little bit, see if there's a better way to do it. And you can see that it just pulses a little bit too fast for me, for my liking, so I tried to spread them out a little bit. Still a little bit too fast. Apparently, in my opinion, it was a little bit too fast. So, of course, 1, 2, 1, 2. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm moving these like half a block apart, and then I got a very good pulsing effect out of it. Also, if you wonder what this is, what the noise in the background is, it's just me. It's just literally a guidebook for a mechanical keyboard. It's fine. It's nothing. It's nothing too interesting, I guess. This is me checking how many blocks they're apart, I think. As you can see, I'm just going with the flow here, not really caring about how the block design works, just if it does something cool, in my opinion. Here I'm trying to line it up perfectly with 1 block apart. Yep, but then you look and there's 1 block in the middle, perfectly in the middle, which therefore is not the correct way of... it's basically not correct. And then there we go. I think we got it working very good right there. You can see the block design right there. It is very simplistic, but it works. It works. Then I ended up exiting and re-entering the level because my editor just sometimes breaks. I don't know why. It just does. And then what I'm doing right here is I'm making a loop of this posing object. So this posing object will be the most copy-pasted object of all time. You can see now it's going on endlessly forever, which is what we want. We want to see that. And of course, we still have the quick counter down there, which, 100 quicks. I ended up going with like 50 quicks in my level, which, one of the main elder moderators for the GDPS Hero Brain did say that we don't need to use all of it. He did say himself that we don't need to use all of the 100 quicks, but I got pretty close to using. I mean, I used like half of them, which is something, I guess. And then here you can see me just copy pasting the design that I've made. Nothing too interesting happens here. I think I could just skip forward this part at this point because most of this is just putting the block design. I made that structure right there with the circle in it. This one. It looks kind of interesting. You hit a black orb down to get to there, which, in my opinion, is some sort of gameplay, I guess. We can go forward to here where we edit, where we are also copy pasting this to the transition into the before the transition to the swing part right down there with the 2 quicks of the swing copter. And that is mainly it. Here you can see me adding some sort of structures, but then the video just cuts for some reason, and that's just where it ends. Anyways, on to the next part. Alright, this is right after my recording decided to die, or cut, or whatever happened to it. This is right after that, which is kind of interesting because it's still, the same level. Nothing too much changed. In fact, if you scroll forward, you can just see me just doing the same thing I've already been doing, which is just copy paste, which is just select the design and then copy and paste. Nothing too interesting there. I added these structures to make it a little bit more interesting, but then my recording cuts, and we use this time. We'll actually go ahead and just cut to the next point where we're interested in this. Now, of course, I already muted it, so I reopened the game here because my geode was not working. But then it turned out to be good because it had pretty much saved everything I've already done, which is great because, I'm still on a time limit here. Here you can see me just copy pasting the design. Here you can see me copy pasting all of the spikes around. At this point, we had like extra time. We were given extra time by 30 minutes. So the original event was meant to be like 4 hours. I'm gonna just leave this playing, I guess, while I talk about this. The original event was meant to be around 4 hours to make the levels, but then because we felt like because Herobrine didn't feel like we had enough time to finish our levels, he added a extra 30 minutes, I think, to the time, which is very generous of him, which I still love him for that, by the way. Again, you're gonna be hearing me just talking over some executive decisions For example, this right here. Now, what I did here is, I'm just like building, but then something just feels off here, doesn't it? I'm like copy pasting these block designs, but then this gap right here. Now, I hate it when levels just weave out gaps like this and just now add slopes to them. So what I ended up doing, which I will hopefully get footage of doing. Yeah, there we go. I found it, yeah. Basically what I did here is I added the slopes in, which, does look kind of silly now looking back at it. Just, like, look at that. Like, you hold up. Wait. Let me see if I can catch a clearer frame of this. Like, look at this. You're going from, like, blocks inside of blocks to this, to just things not feeling right, which, obviously does not fit with me. Then, for some reason, I did the executive decision of making this a block design. I don't know why, to be honest, but whatever. Can't really now change the future now, can we? Then, what I did for this wave right here is I moved down the structures, which would make it would have been more interesting gameplay, I guess you could call it. Sorry for the background noise, by the way. Just my family's watching a movie. Can't really do anything about it. Then you can just see me copy pasting the same spikes that I've already made. You can see me rebuilding some of the structures, restructuring the singular structures to be this design of structures. And just overall, nothing too interesting happens in this video. Anyways, on to the next part. Alright, so what I did here is I'm pretty much just, informing everyone that, the recording has stopped and I'm back and just nothing too interesting happened. I made this spider part, I nerfed it in the original version, which I will be showing what I did change about the level. I will be going over every single change this level had gone through to get to what it got to. For example, this orb right here, you see this orb? I ended up actually scaling up the orb. And there's a trigger orb behind it so that, you can't just skip the orb. And there's basically blocks right here that are toggled on their own, and if you hit the yellow orb, which also hits the trigger orb, which is inside the which is hidden in the orb, is gonna basically deactivate the structures so that it makes it not skippable. Then of course you see me changing the singular just one-way structures to being the black structure, which executive decision to make that. Here I actually had swipe on, which happens to all of us. But yeah, I don't think anything too interesting happens in this video. Oh yeah, this. Now this. I ended up nerfing this wave, actually. This wave right here, I ended up nerfing it in the original version. I basically moved the structure up a bit, up by a whole block, so that it's a little bit easier, because another thing about the event is that you had to verify your level within the time limit. So it basically, like, you need to plan out everything that happens in this level to be able to not only build what you wanted to build, but also verify what you've built. So of course, this level went through a lot of changes. it's kind of expected to go through a lot of changes since what a lot of the gameplay that I made was just a little bit questionable. But this is the start of my verification process of the level. Basically, not just not switching out too many things. Making this transition right here possible to not go too far into by adding these slopes down there. Oh, then I extended structure because it looked odd. And that is mainly. Oh yeah, wait. We just skipped over something very important. If I can find it. If I can find where it is. Yeah, there we go. So, you see, I nerfed this. I nerfed this structure right here because I was too used to going up like this, which is basically going up into the structure. Because I don't know why my brain just works like that. So I ended up nerfing it by a whole block. Which I guess, it's not too big of a deal. It's still the same structure, just a little bit nerfed. And that is it for that footage. And then we'll be moving on to one of the last footages that I ended up recording was this one, which is me verifying the level finally. And we'll just go over this and why I made the changes I did. Okay, now first of all, we need to talk about the big elephant in the room. If I can find it. Yeah, here. This black orb right here. This black orb was nerfed. This is the original version of the level. I mean, this is the nerf version of the black orb. The original version was just way too close to the spikes, and I moved it up by like half a block, and it works perfectly. Oops, I accidentally exited out. This is the this right here is the this right here is the nerf version of the spider. I added 3 blocks actually of free room. And yeah, I'll just show the level for itself without talking too much. I'll just show the level that I built in the time. And of course I'll be adding the video at the end that I just recorded. Anyways, yeah, enjoy the showcase of the level that you won't be hearing the song of. I will be making a I will definitely make a if you're curious about the song that I used, you can just look it up on the GDPS. It's not that hard to find. Yeah, anyways, just yeah, enjoying my showcase of demotivation by me. And that is the level. Yeah, as you can see, I used the 53 quicks, which, in my opinion, is pretty good. And this right here is me naming the level, me just exaggerating over that it took so long because at the time I had like 20 minutes of time left. I think I had like maybe 20 or like 30 minutes left, which frightening. And that is basically it for me. Of course, now I'm gonna add the outro of the level of no, the outro of the video that I made, and I'm just gonna weave it out at there for me. And I know this has I know this was not expected from I know this wasn't expected to happen. Like, I told it even in the outro that it's not meant that it wasn't gonna be a video, but I still ended up making a video either way. I mean, it's not that I think it's. I'm just disappointed that, you know, I feel like I've been, like, wet down, kind of. Also, my PC showed up at a very good time. Thank you, PC. But it's I'm kind of proud of the level, I guess. If you're curious, I will upload a showcase event. If you're so curious to just see it for yourself, or you can just find it. You don't need to force me to make a showcase event. Yeah. Anyways, let's just cut to the outro now. Wow, that is a lot of footage we've gone through. That is over 2+ hours, by the way. Anyways, yeah, outro, go. Hey, so you might be wondering, what just happened? Well, let's just say that there's not gonna be a video on this. I wish there would, but the audio is just so messed up because, well, first of all, phone guy, there you go, phone. But second of all, it's just not worth it. Like, what I just found out happened is that the first 40% of the footage just got entirely corrupted. The audio is just gone. And that's just so sad to me because I've spent so much time on just building the level and everything, but now it's all just gone to waste. So I think it's just best if I just leave this part right here at the end. I was originally gonna make like the outro other video that I put that I was gonna put at the ending, but it's just not worth it. It's not worth it anymore. Like, at this rate, I might just edit out all of my audio from the other clips, and just leave it at that. I am very sorry, but you just could not hear me at all. It's not that I think that I'm the problem. It's just that I'm just not happy with what I've done with this video. So I think it's just best to leave this at the end. Like, it's it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. Like, I don't care about losing the video or anything. I don't. And if it means that I have to edit out my audio of me speaking, then fine, take it. Just take it at this rate. Like, it's not that I think that it's my problem. No. It's just mainly because, like, I would have felt very proud of this video, but now that I'm figuring out that all of the audio is just distorted to beyond repair, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. But you didn't miss out on too much, to be honest. Most of the footage was just me and just me dying in pain, basically. Well, not dying, just crying. Yeah, crying. Yeah. I'm leaving out this part right here because I feel like it is better to mention it other than leave it out for, when I try to edit this. Now, hopefully the video will come out today. I'm thinking about editing it right now. I'm thinking about picking out just some parts, talking over the parts that I completely just lost the audio on, and just mainly giving out some thoughts about the level and why I did this, why I did that. And I know I can't recover the footage, but at least what I do have is I do have the footage, right? I do have it still. And I'm gonna be editing it right now, actually. So, I know you won't be hearing me a lot throughout this video, but hey, at least you have this, so take it or leave it. Yeah, that is mainly the last thing I'm gonna add. I'm just gonna leave it at that, right? Goodbye.